This LOS is calculate and interpret currency cross rates. Currency exchange rate calculations. Now we're going to look at cross rate calculations. Given the exchange rates for two currency pairs A and B and A and C, we can compute the cross rate B and C between currencies B and C. But depending on how the rates are quoted, this may require inversion of one of the quoted rates. Currency exchange rate calculations. So we're going to carry on with an example on the cross rate calculations. So given two exchange rates involving three currencies, it is possible to back out what the cross rates must be. For example, as we have seen, the FX market convention is to quote the exchange rate between the US dollar and the euro. The naming convention is the euro. So we have here the price currency is the US dollar and the base currency is the euro. Okay. So also we know that the FX market also quotes the exchange rate between the Canadian dollar and the US dollar as dollar Canada. There's the naming convention. Price currency is the Canadian dollar and the base currency is the US dollar. Okay. So given these two exchange rates, it is possible to back out the cross rate between the euro and the Canadian dollar, which according to market convention is quoted as Euro Canada. You can see that here. Canadian dollar in the numerator and the euro is the base currency. And by the way, this is the chart that we saw in the very first LOS on foreign exchange. Okay, so you can see here we've got the dollar Canada times the euro is going to give us the rate for the Euro Canada. So I put here bold and green. Hence, to get the Euro Canada rate, we must multiply the dollar Canada quote by the euro dollar quote. So for example, I'm just going to use the numbers, and these are kind of up to date as of the end of March 2017 from the internet. Assume the exchange rate for the dollar Canada is 1.33574. So again, let's just look at that, slow down. CAD over USD. So $1 US is going to give us 1.33574 Canadian dollars. And the exchange rate for the euro dollar, we can see that's US dollars in the price currency, and the euro is the base. So 1 euro will get me 1.08005 US dollars. Using these same sample spot exchange rates, calculating the Euro Canada cross rate equals 1.33574 times 1.08005 equals 1.44267 CAD per euro. Okay, so 1 euro is going to give me 1.44267 Canadian dollars. By the way, I just put this slide in for a little bit of fun, but I went to the currencyxe.com and I just showed again for the dollar Canada. You can see we've got the Canadian dollar as the price currency, the US dollar is the base currency. So 1 US dollar is going to give me 1.33574 Canadian dollars. Okay, that's just the quote. And again here for the euro, we had 1 euro is going to give me 1.08005 US dollars. So as we showed, to get the cross rate for the CAD euro, where 1 euro is going to give me 1.44267 Canadian dollars per 1 euro. Again, I just did the quote here from xe.com. You can see 1 euro equals 1.44229. So there's just a little bit of rounding difference on the last two digits. Okay, so one thing that I want to point out, and this is an important note, is that when you see some practice questions, and indeed perhaps a question on the exam, I'm using here real exchange rates, so it helps you kind of wrap your mind around the math. But what they'll do is on the exam, they can use the same wordings, but they'll totally change the exchange rates. The exchange rates don't have to reflect real world changes. In fact, they might inverse them. What you need to do is to be able to do the math. The point that I'm trying to make is the numbers that are given in a practice question or on the exam don't need to reflect the real world. And sometimes that really confuses the students. I'm using this real world example between the dollar Canada and the euro to get us the cross rate. But on a question, they could totally inverse the rates. You know, they could say that $1 equals 0.74 Canadian dollars, and it's kind of meant to confuse you. The numbers on the question don't have to reflect the real world. So currency exchange rate calculations, carrying on with our cross rates. So given three currency, a currency cross rate is the applied exchange rate of a third country pair given the exchange rates of two pairs of the three currencies that have a common currency. Okay, so if arbitrage is possible, the cross rates will be consistent. So example number one, suppose you're given the following quotes, and this is the exact same example in terms of the math that we just did on the previous slide. We've got the AUD to US dollar 0.8812, US dollar to DKK 5.5027. So what is the AUD to DKK? So write it out like this: AUD to US dollar, which is the way they've presented it. US dollar to DKK is the way that we presented it. Cross it out. So we know we're using the multiplication here of just the two rates, 0.8812 times 5.5027. We're going to get 4.8490. Okay. Now this is the second example, and this is when on the first slide I put in bold red that some cases you need to invert a rate, and and this is the example here that you need to pay attention to. So we're given ILS to US dollar 3.4885 and NOK to US dollar 6.1706. So again, we've got three currencies and two rates. We can do a cross rate, but we need to adjust the math. So it's asking for the ILS to NOK exchange rate. So we're going to set it up the same way: ILS US dollar, that's given to us 3.4885, and times US dollar to NOK. Wait a minute, that's not the way it's been presented to us. So this term here, we're going to need to invert it. You can see it's not 6.1706. It's going to be 1 divided by 6.1706. Okay, so just bring up the calculator very quickly. 1 divided by 6.1706. Okay, and we're going to multiply that by 3.4885, and we're going to get 0.56342. Okay, so you just have to be very careful, and we're going to do a couple of practice questions. Write it out in the form that you need so that you can do the multiplication, and if one of the currencies isn't presented in that format, you simply need to do the inverse. Okay, so we're going to do a practice question here. You're given three spot rates: CNY to Hong Kong dollar 0.8422, CNY to ZAR 0.9149, and CNY to SEK 1.0218. So they're asking for the spot rate on ZAR to Hong Kong dollar is closest to what? A, 0.9205, 1.0864, or C, 1.2978. Okay, so they're asking for a ZAR to Hong Kong dollar cross rate. So we can see we have CNY over Hong Kong dollar, and that's 0.8422. And we're looking for the ZAR. We can see we have CNY over ZAR, which is 0.9149. But we can see that's not in the right format. We want to have CNY over Hong Kong dollar times ZAR over CNY, so that we can cross those two out and have the Hong Kong dollar multiply. So how do we adjust that one? We're going to do 1 divided by 0.9149. Okay, so you can see here is that we need to take the inverse, 1 divided by 0.9149, and then multiply times the 0.8422. So again, if I just bring up my calculator very quickly, these questions, if you're good at them, they're a lot less than 90 seconds, and you like them because you know you're right. It's black and white. You know, you understand the math, you understand how to do it, you understand what's been presented, and really in terms of calculating cross rates, there's not much, there's not any curveballs they can give you. So 1 divided by 0.9149, you get that right, and then going to multiply it by the 0.8422, 0.8422 and 0.9205. So you can see the correct answer is A. So quite an easy question. They take a little bit of practice at first, but again, write out how they've given it to you and adjust the one that needs to be inverted. Do the math, solve it, less than 90 seconds. So do another practice question. This one's just introducing something a little bit new. So we've got three rates here, US dollar to euro, spot rate 1.3960, and then we have an expected spot rate in 1 year, 1.3863. Then we have the Swiss franc to US dollar, 0.9585 is the spot rate. Expected spot rate in 1 year, 0.9551. And finally, we have the US dollar to Great Britain pound, 1.585 is the spot rate, 1.5794 is the expected spot rate in 1 year. So this is something new. It's the expected spot rate in 1 year that they're giving to us. So it's saying here the spot Swiss franc to euro cross rate is closest to A, 0.6866, B, 0.7473, or C, 1.3381. So in this case, the expected spot rate in 1 year, we didn't need it, okay? That's red herring information. Sometimes you get information in tables that, it's meant to make you think, what do I need to do? So again, they're giving us the rates. We're looking for the CHF UER, okay? So you can see we're going to write that out, CHF to UER, and then we have the US dollar to EUR, and we have the CHF to US dollars, so we can cross that out. You can see in this case, we're just doing the multiplication, bring up the calculator. And so as I said, if you're good at these calculations, you can see this is a lot quicker than 90 seconds. It's just 1.396, and then you're going to multiply by 0.9585. There's no inversion of any of these terms, 1.38066. So it's closest to C, okay? Fairly easy. Now, why are these numbers here? It's because it's trying to trick you. If you invert one of the terms, you're going to get the wrong answer, okay? But just write it out here. I've got US dollar over EUR, and I've got CHF over US dollar, and I'm looking for CHF over EUR. So that's what I'm going to do when I'm doing the question, because I know I got 90 seconds, and I'm just going to look. Does this make sense? Is there anything that I need to invert? No, I don't need to invert anything. It's just a straight out multiplication to get me the Confederation Helvetia Swiss franc to the EUR. Nothing needs to be inverted here, okay? Now, if they gave me, again, something presented here that doesn't match that profile, where I've got the same numerator and I need to invert it, then I'll know which one I need to invert, okay? So another quick practice question. Again, I've got US dollar to euro, spot rate 1.3960, expected spot rate in 1 year. I've got the Swiss franc to US dollar, 0.9585, and then I have the US dollar to Great Britain pound, 1.585, and again, it's giving an expected spot rate in 1 year. However, the question is asking for the spot rate, Great Britain pound to euro. Cross rate is closest to what? A, 0.8808, B, 1.1354, or C, 2.2127. Okay, this is a nice little question to practice the inversion here. So I know I'm going towards the Great Britain pound to euro rate is what I want, okay? So I'm going to look here. Aha, I have the US dollar to euro, so that looks like one of the rates that I'm going to use. And I'm going to multiply by, wait a minute, I need to get the Great Britain pound. That's the only rate that has it. So I'm going to write it out, US dollar to Great Britain pound. And so, as I said, these questions become really easy with a lot of practice, because you can see, well, wait a minute, I've got the US dollar in the numerator to numerators, the price currency twice. No, I need to change that one. So that's the rate that we're going to change. We're going to keep this one here. The 1.3960 is going to stay, but this rate we're going to have to change. It's going to be 1 divided by 1.585, okay? So you can see here, they've just, in the solution here, they've just shortened it, because that's going to be the same thing that's going to equal 1.3960 divided by 1.585. Okay, so it's as simple as that. That's why that's just been shortened a little bit. If you wanted to do it the long way, though, we could do it the long way. We could do 1 divided by 1.585 equals, and then multiply by the 1.3960, and we're going to get 0.880757. So you can see that is indeed closest to A. But did you pick up on that shortcut? Some people that are very good at this would say, okay, wait a minute, I need to invert that rate. So it's just going to be 1.3960 divided by the 1.585, a bit of a shortcut, and you're going to get the same answer. So that's a nice little question. You can see, as I said, the main point that I wanted to make is that even within 90 seconds, this is the rate that you want. Write out the, we've got 3 quotes. We're looking for the 2 currencies. And you can see very quickly that one of the rates needs to be inverted to get it into the format that we need. These questions actually end up being fairly easy. You're happy to see them because they're very mechanical. And once you understand how to set it up and work through the steps, they're really easy. Okay, one last practice question to end on, and this actually kind of relates to another LOS that we did with regards to the appreciation or depreciation of a currency. So it's giving us similar spot rates, US dollar to euro, 1.3960, but an expected spot rate in 1 year, 1.3863. The Swiss franc to US dollar, 0.9585, an expected spot rate in 1 year, 0.9551. And finally, US dollar to Great Britain pound, 1.585. So the same data we've seen in a previous question, but an expected spot rate of 1.5794. So it says, based on the exhibit, the euro is expected to appreciate by how much against the US dollar over the next year. So again, in some cases, if they're giving you a lot of data and tables, one of my exam tips is skip down and read the question first so that when you go back and look at the table or the data presented, you kind of know what you're looking for, because this is looking for the euro against the US dollar. Okay, so it's appreciate, and it says expected appreciate negative 0.7%, A, B plus 0.7%, or C plus 1%. So this is a nice little review question. As I said, we've seen this previously, and it's very simple. We can see this is the old price, and this is the new price. Okay, so we set it up. Again, always remember that the denominator is 1. So the old price, 1 euro is going to buy us 1.3960 US dollars. The new price is 1 euro is going to buy us 1.3863. So we're just going to do new price divided by the old price minus 1. And if we want to get a nice round number, we can times it by 100. Okay, so it's as easy as that. There's no tricks to it. So we'll just bring up the calculator. I'll just move it over here, just get it out of our way so we can see what we're doing. And so the new price is 1.3863 divided by the old price, 1.3960 minus 1 times 100, and I'm going to get negative 0.69484. And again, with the CFA, they're always saying closest to, so they've done a little bit of rounding. It's closest to A. Okay, just bring up the calculator again, move it over here so we can see it's closest to A. And that was really easy. So A is correct. The euro is the base currency in the US dollar euro quote and is expected to decrease, indicating that the euro is depreciating. So let's just think about that again. In the old price, 1 euro would get me $1.39. Now 1 euro is getting me $1.38. That has gone down. So the euro is getting me less US dollars. So the euro is depreciating. And that's kind of a total review of a previous LOS. But because the table was being presented in the same way, I thought I would include this question here. Just to, you might start to get confused if you need to invert a rate or something like that. No, it's just very easy. New price divided by the old price minus 1. And remember that the new price, it's always €1. How much US dollars is buying me? It's buying me less US dollars. So the euro's depreciating. Okay. And with that, that's the last slide for this LOS. Thank you.